Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at a deck list that I used to have built IRL, but kind of just lost interest in it because of Shaman and a bunch of other things, and that is Tera Box. This is a deck that I really enjoyed IRL, and there's actually a card in here that even I was testing with, and it actually works out quite well in this list, from obviously playing it IRL as well, but also just playing the deck in general. So in the description below, as per usual, there's going to be links to the timestamps, so there's going to be the deck list, and of course the deck list will be available in the description below. We'll also be taking a look at a couple of games with it, seeing how it does, and obviously my impressions of the deck. Although I'm a little bit biased because I do like this deck. So the whole idea is we play Teal Mask Ogerpon to get energy into play using basic grass energy. Of course, Teal Mask Ogerpon has the ability Teal Dance. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic grass energy from your hand to this Pokemon. If you attach an energy to a Pokemon in this way, draw a card. Obviously, I don't know why it says to a Pokemon. It should say this Pokemon in this way. I suppose it's a translation error, but Myriad Leaf Shower can come up. But this original list that went 7-1 in Pumpka Amy's tournament, the Pumpka Weekly, shout out to Amy, this only played one, and I personally don't like that because I like having extra draw on the field if I can. So I'd actually have 2 Teal Masks in my Tera Box. So a lot of people are still playing only one, and I don't really like that. So I've added in a second copy, which has obviously changed one of the 2 cards that I've mentioned. We also play attackers like Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, where we can shuffle 3 energy, attach this Pokemon into the deck. If we do, it also does 120 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This card is nasty, and if you use the Sparkling Crystal, which is our ace spec in this, which we'll cover in the deck list, this is absolutely brutal and is really fun to play. And there's even a card in here which I even experimented with in my Tera Box list, and that is Paldean Tauros. So it's a fire type, it's nothing special, but the rear kick for 30 can sometimes come up if you manage to find your basic fire. But the Spirited Tackle is why we're interested in this. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Stage 1 Pokemon, this attack does 90 more damage. So that means you're doing 180 damage before weakness against a Stage 1. So that means cards like Archaludon could be under threat, obviously if they haven't attacked, that is. Cards like Goldengo can also be under threat, and obviously various Stage 1 Fire-type weak Pokemon in general will have to watch out for this card, because that's 360 damage, and not even an Archaludon can stand up to that. It is quite a greedy attacker, and obviously because it's not a Terra type, we have to put multiple energy onto it, but it's quite easy to power up, because obviously we do play Energy Switch and everything. So a lot of the time, your attack cost is going to be Fire, Grass, and something else. But still, this card for me replaced Cornerstone, because I didn't have a lot of use out of Cornerstone, and I still don't. And as you would have seen with the Crystal Wall deck, like, everyone knows how to play around Cornerstone, so I ditched it for this. But anyway, before we go further into the deck list, let's head over to it, and let's have a look. And welcome to the deck list. So this is actually quite a large deck list, but obviously I will scroll down when we get to the basic energies at the bottom. So of course, we are playing the Noctowl engine to help support us with, because obviously we play multiple different Terra types. We play Pikachu, 2 Wellsprings, 2 Ogerpons, and a Terapagos. So we have a lot of basic Terras to actually get us going. So we're playing 3 70 HP Hoothoots. We're playing 1 80 HP Hoothoot, which can stop against Dragapult. We're playing 4 Noctowls, which lets us search our deck if we have any Terra Pokemon in play, that is. For up to 2 trainer cards, reveal them and put them into our hand, then shuffle the deck. Then, of course, we're playing 2 Fan Rotom, which, of course, can function as a single prize attacker, but at the same time, it can also deal with getting our Hoothoots into play, getting our Noctowls out, obviously getting their 80 HP Hoothoot out, because obviously some lists used to play a Buddy Puffin, and obviously the 80 HP one is not searchable by that, so Fan Rotom was your way of getting that. Then, of course, 2 Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. We know about this card. Terapagos EX, which that second attack has actually become a bit more relevant, which I'm actually quite pleased with. But, of course, we're mainly using this to deal with fellow Cornerstones. So, if we have 8 Pokemon in play, even if we just have 7, we can deal with a Cornerstone. And obviously, because we play Area 0, that's quite easy to do. The Paldean Tauros, which we've talked about. We're also playing 2 copies of Teal Mask Ogerpon. As I said, I personally prefer this as a comfort pick, but that's just me. We'll talk about the second change because it's near the bottom in a moment. 1 Latias, 1 Mew, 1 Fez, 1 Pikachu. We're playing a copy of Ditto in here. So if we manage to get our Latias and our Fan Rotom out, we can use Ditto to set up a Wellspring early on and get a turn attachment onto it, which could make the difference. Of course, Bloodmoon Ursaluna for our late game, Lillie's Clefairy, which can work in conjunction with Mew to help us get going in that regard. And heck, if we really have to, we can even swing with Latias because we play 2 basic Psychic, but I doubt that's going to come up. 4 copies of Crispin, which lets us do our usual energy acceleration shenanigans. And obviously, if we're searching for a grass and another energy, we can accelerate the other energy and attach the grass to the Ogerpon, get an extra card whilst we're at it. 2 copies of Boss, 1 Iono, 1 Professor Turo, 1 Professor Research. As you'll see, this list is very similar to the, well, you won't see because obviously you don't know my Tera Box list, but this is very similar to the one that I used to play, and it's quite refreshing to see it do some work. 4 copies of Nest Ball, 3 copies of Ultra Ball, 2 copies of Energy Switch. This is where also my list differed. I played 3, and I also played 5 basic grass. 1 Earthen Vessel, 1 Counter Capture, 2 copies of Night Stretcher, 1 copy of Air Balloon, which is obviously now back in the format. The Sparkling Crystal, which if attached to a Tera Pokemon, i.e. Pikachu, Wellspring, Terapagos, Ogerpon, etc., this makes it so that 1 less energy attack cost is needed, and it can be of any type. So if you've got, let's say, for example, a Lightning Energy and a Metal Energy on Pikachu, if you put this on, you don't need the grass. The Crystal covers that for you. Then we've got an interesting card in here, which is a copy of Bravery Charm. It's very interesting to see that, and this is one card that I did not experiment with, and it'll be nice to see how it does in the gameplay. Then 2 copies of Area 0, 4 copies of Basic Grass Energy, 2 copies of Basic Psychic Energy, and then 1 of the rest, Metal, Lightning, Water, and Fire. Really interesting to see this list come back to fruition, and I'm looking forward to playing it. If it turns out to be pretty good in terms of its, IRL gameplay, I might just have to rebuild this deck, because I still have my copies of Paldean Tauros. And obviously I do have everything else as well. I've even managed to get myself some 80 HP Hoothoos recently, because, you know, Prismatic is a nightmare to get your hands on. Managed to find some singles. But, like I say, everything here I can rebuild. So if this deck turns out to do well IRL, I might just have to bring this deck back. Anyway, let's get into the gameplay, and let's see how we do. And welcome to the match. I'm going to warn you, there may be some misplays here because my caffeine is not kicked in. Tera Box is quite a complicated deck to pilot. I mean, I say that. I've got my Dr. Pepper for the morning, so... Because I don't drink coffee. It's... Coffee to me, if I drink it... For a start, I don't like the taste of coffee, but at the same time, if I drink coffee, I'm not going to be a happy bunny, let's put it that way. Okay, starting the Ditto, I will take that. I'm going to put down a second Pokemon, just in case this is Dunk. Because 60 HP is nothing to really look at. All it needs is Petra Run. Old-fashioned Pokegear, we'd love to see it. That's a whiff. I'm smelling a Grimmsnarl, personally, but they don't normally play Pokegears. That's 2 whiffs off the Pokegear. Oh, that's annoying. So that now could cause us an issue. Oh dear. Well, that's not going to help you, my friend. So this card completely shuts us down. But we can at least bench the Fan Rotom and get going. So I'm going to play down the Teal Mask, Ultra Ball, the Noctowl, and the Ultra Ball. Because we can play around this. We can potentially get ourselves some draw going. And then I'm going to Crispin, grab a Grass Energy, and does it really matter what I grab? Not particularly, so I don't think we're going to need... It depends on what they're playing. If they're playing Venture Bomb, it's probably our Chaladon, so I'm going to thin out the Water Energy. Take the Grass to hand. We'll attach the Water to the Ditto, because you never know, I might have to splop. And then we'll Teal Dance, put that Grass on. There's an Area 0, so we can actually bounce the stadium. So now we can use our Fan Call. Now, oh, okay, just concede immediately. We wouldn't have been able to attack, so I don't know what his plan was there, but... obviously we committed our turn attachment to the... well, in fact, no, we didn't. We did that via Crispin, so we could have potentially hit 70. But, yeah, that was really short. Let's go to a game 2. I don't think I played that too badly in game 1. That was an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I definitely couldn't have hit the donk there because I would have needed at least I needed a grass energy plus I needed Sparking Crystal, and I'd be mewing for free, which is quite high, like low odds of getting that. So yeah, let's go first. We're not going to obviously dunk him, but you know, because this deck isn't designed to do that. But this deck does like going first, from what memory serves of it. Okay, that is a horrendous start. No mollies either. Shelmet? Is this a Selgor? Okay, well that just saved our bacon. So, we want to grab ourselves a Tera Pokemon. Do we have a grass in hand? Yes, we do. So we will grab ourselves a Teal Mask Ogerpon. Because we have Hootoots and Noctowls in hand, so I'm not particularly worried. So we'll go Teal Dance. There's Turo, so I don't think... Well, I mean, he could technically come up, because we're facing stage 1s. I'm going to commit my turn attachment to the Hoothoot, so then, you never know, we might have to triple stab. But other than that, let's pass for turn. Let's see what we can do. I've also just noticed that card has a 3 retreat cost, which I think is quite interesting. This is definitely a Selgor, so if we can get a Nest Ball plus a Crispin, and off the second Noctowl we could also get Crystal and a Earthen Vessel, we can actually attack with Teal Mask, or not Teal Mask, Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, and really cause some terror to the opponent. I've got to remember what you do. Basic Pokemon. Okay, that's fine. That doesn't bother us. TM Evo. Tarantula. Is this Spidops? This is going to be like some sort of Spidops control, would be my guess. Yes, it's Selgor. It's a Selgor. Yeah, Spidops EX. So I've got to remember what you do. Your opponent's set Pokemon retreat cost is 1 colorless more. That is fine, Chief, because I'm going to play around that. So we'll start by evolving the one on the bench. So we'll use the Jewel Seeker. So I'll need a Nest Ball for my Latias, because I need that. And I'm pretty certain it was in deck as well. Let's have a quick check, just to make sure. Yeah, Latias is there. So, we need Nest Ball and we need Crystal. Because then the second Noctowl will get us what we need. In fact, no, I actually need 2 Nest Balls. Because I need to get my Wellspring down. So we'll do that first. Grab the Latias. Nest Ball again. Grab a Wellspring. And then... Oh yeah, I need to... Does it affect... Does it stop Latias? I did not know that. I thought Latias overwhelmed it. Well, overdid the effect. Okay, well... We can evolve it anyway, because we're going to retreat this energy off anyway. So, you know, it's something to think about. So we need a Crispin. And we need Sparkling Crystal. Yeah, I thought genuinely that Latias' Skyliner, like, stopped this effect. Like, it still had free retreat. I guess it's because this came into play afterward, would be my guess. So... we can Crispin and just Soblock this thing. So I'm going to thin the fire out. In fact, no, Fire Energy is actually useful in this matchup because they have Spidops. So I'll take a Grass Energy for the Ogerpon later. We can also just Speed Wing for 60 damage. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'm going to take the Lightning Energy. So we'll put the Grass in hand. We'll put the Lightning Energy on a Noctowl. I'm going to bench the Paldean Tauros, and we're just going to Speed Wing for 60. So obviously we can retreat this, but yeah, I don't know. If anyone can answer that in the comments, like, how that ruling works, because it's not like I don't know these sorts of rulings, it's just that confused me a little bit. I think, in fact, I might get my sister to comment on it, because she's a judge, as you may know from the Sibling Sunday episodes. This might be a question to put towards her. I think it's because my Latias came into play after, so this still technically has 1 more retreat cost. Well, obviously when it was a thingy. Chingling. Discard a random card from your opponent's hand. That's fine, I don't need that. Okay, interesting. There's an energy switch, so we can at least play our Teal dance now. So we'll do that. We've got a Fan Rotom, that's not particularly useful. We can take out this Chingling with the Noctowl, which I don't think is a bad idea. But first I'm going to Energy Switch an energy onto the Tauros. And Speed Wave for 60, take a prize. Who would have thought Noctowl was doing an attack? I didn't even, like, bring it up as a joke, because I thought, I'm not going to need Noctowl to attack. Turns out I do. So now this Aselgor is a bit of an issue. But we should be able to deal with it. There's a counter catcher. That's fine, I can Soblock you, mate. You do realise that I can Soblock. Plus, if I get a Crispin... Oh, there's a Stam. Okay. This is a really interesting control list. I might have to see if I can pinch a list somewhere. Okay, there's another Shelmet. If we get a Crispin off the top, you are basically done. Because, yeah, this isn't looking good for you. There's a Hilda, but obviously he hasn't played a supporter. Lets you grab an Evolution and a Energy card. This is a really good card. There's a Reversal Energy as well. I'm guessing his plan is to, like, let me take a prize or something and go from there. So now we are confused and poisoned. But we can still sob for 20 and take out this Clefairy, so it's not the end of the world. So I think we'll just do that, because we can't really do anything else. Yeah, we got the heads, nice. So we'll take out the Clefairy with... And we'll take another prize card. I would have loved for that to have been a Crispin, not gonna lie. But, still. This is a really interesting matchup, I must say. There's an Arven. Wonder what else he's playing, like, attackers and stuff. Because obviously the Aselgor is supposed to, you know, do the poison and confusion, and then this is designed to stop you from retreating. That's why I thought Latias would be perfect in this matchup, but apparently not. And like I say, I think it's because the Spidops came into play before my Latias. And there's another Poisonous Ploy. So we're confused again, and of course, poisoned again. And obviously, whilst we have this in the active... Ooh, okay, Air Balloon, that's helpful. But not right now, though. So we can... Actually, no, Air Balloon doesn't save us at all. I'm going to save the Air Balloon, and I'm just going to sob for 20. Well, try to. And no, we died to poison mid-turn. Oh, boy. That's really bad. So we died to poison. I think I'm going to give them this Noctowl, because I'd rather have that in the discard. That is really bad. We don't even get Fez draw for this. This is really bad. There's an Air Balloon to retreat the Clefairy. We can retreat the Noctowl off of the Poisonous Ploy, so I'm not particularly worried. He only has one Spidops in play, so we can get away with the Air Balloon on the Noctowl. There's an energy for the Spidops. Arven. Please do not tell me you play Gravity Gemstone. Please tell me you don't. Because I will not be a happy bunny if you do. Okay, Nest Ball. Plays the Nest Ball. What are you grabbing off of this? A Pecharunt. Ah, I see what you're trying to do. Yeah, this list is spicy. Because obviously it gets poisoned by the Aselgor. Huh? Why would you not go to this and take a prize? Sure, okay, that's an interesting move. So we'll Ultra Ball away Ditto, and Fan Rotom can actually come up as an attacker, you know. I'll get rid of Fan Rotom anyway. I don't think we need him. Because we can thin this hand out, but the issue is I would want to get a Hoothoot down. Because we have our two attackers, we could obviously attack with a Noctowl and do some damage. I think we literally just pass. Because we can take 2 prizes with the Wellspring when this goes down, because we can always grab it off of that. So yeah, I'm just going to pass and see what he does. This is a really cool list. I might have to see if I can pinch this somewhere. There's a boss. Bossing the Hoothoot, you son of a bugger. He knows what I'm trying to do. Because Poisonous Ploy does 70 damage, and then Hoothoot dies between turns. This is clever gameplay from the opponent. Okay, so we'll promote the Noctowl with Speed Wing ability, or Speed Wing attack capability. Right, so can we do anything from here? So we can't Fez because the Fez is causing us issues. So I think what we actually do is we retreat with the Noctowl, go into the damaged one, because that would cause him to attack with Poisonous Ploy. He could also Joust for 10, but still. And I literally think we just pass. But then again, I want to get a turn attachment to this Tauros, in case we're drawn to a boss, so I'm going to do that. This is really weird. I've not faced a list like this before. But I see the appeal of it, for sure. Because what I wanted to do is to take out this Noctowl, and then I can Fez. Okay, he's done it. He's done it. Good, 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 good. That's good for us. That's good for us. Wait. I've just remembered. Because he's putting Clefairy in the active, Fez don't do nothing. Okay. I've just remembered that. There's a Clefairy. We can just Speed Wing and do some damage. So I think we will. That's all our options are. We can hit for 60. This comes up and does 10. Well, 70. 80 because of the poison. Oh no, not the second Spidops. I think that's the end of us, folks. Because he'll go Poisonous Ploy into the Petrarun, knock this out, take my energy out of play. That's what I would do. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. Yep, this opponent is a very good player, is all I'll say. And obviously because it dies between turns, there isn't a lot we can do. And yeah, I'm just going to concede. That was well played by the opponent. I need that list. That is cool. Like, I can appreciate a stall, like a control list, but like, at times anyway. But when it's something spicy like that, that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's go to game 3 and see how we do. And welcome to game 3. I really kind of enjoyed that match against that control deck. Well, Spidops control deck. It's like, I don't mind a control deck. Like, I hated Snorlax Stall, but everyone and their mother hated that deck. And the thing is that Snorlax Stall literally just did nothing but boss up and counter catch your stuff and just sit there. And then obviously play like Eerie and stuff like that. Like, at least that deck actually attacks, involves some strategy, and actually needs you to use your brain. That's how I see it anyway. So, 80 HP Hoothoot start, that's fine with me. Let's hope this is not a dunk deck. No, this is Miraidon. With the new, what is it, the electric energy acceleration from the discard. Now this Thunder Raid attack could cause issues, because it does 210 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. And straight away with the Iron Hands, of course. It would not be a Miraidon deck without Iron Hands, would it? There's also a meme of this card, which I've seen. I'm not going to repeat it, because it is not appropriate, but let's just say it involves him and a certain baby oil user. That's all I'm going to say in that regard. There's a Squawk. Squawk could be something we deal with. There's a generator. Why are you powering this up? Why are you not powering up the Iron Hands? There's a Dynamo. So in an ideal world, which is not going to happen, I'd want to go Wellspring, bang, bang, but still. I don't know why he's powering this up. Interesting, but I guess it's to deal with stuff. There's a Crispin. Okay, that's fine with me, Chief. So we'll Ultra Ball, Turo, and a Grass. I kind of want to grab myself Ditto and, like, trap this in the active with Wellspring, which would not be a bad idea. I mean, we could have I've just realised we could have Fan Rotom for it, but that is the joys of misplaying when you're tired. And we'll just go for an Iono. But still. Okay, we kind of get away with it because of the Latias. I would not encourage anyone to do what I just did there. So then we'll go Transformative Start. Grab a Wellspring. Then we can get back this Grass. I'd rather put the Water on. And we'll thin out the Fire, because Fire Energy is not going to come up. So now we can just sob, because I don't think they play switch cards. So this means that when we go Noctowl, we can go for a Nest Ball and go from there. We can go for Nest Ball and Crystal, so we can attach the Fire to the Wellspring. So we can take out the Zeraora and a Tynamo, and because he's got no energy on his Iron Hands, we are going to be fine. That's fine, you're 90 HP, and I know that for certain. Obviously, Zekrom is an attacker to consider in the late game. Oh, he's playing a Magneton version. Could this be a Zul's list? I think. He does know he can't retreat, right? You can't retreat when you've been sublocked, my friend. I'm not bothered if he comes up with a Miraidon, because we have responses to that. Yep, that's probably your best answer, mate. Okay, so there's another Hoot. So we'll Noctowl. Because we only need Crystal here, to be honest. We need Crystal. And we'll take Research as well. So I don't need to keep this hand. So attach Fire first. Crystal. Research. So we need to get our board set up. That's the main concern right now. So Fan Rotom doesn't come up, so we can Ultra Ball him away. We need to keep the Noctowl as well. I don't think we need E-Switch, to be really honest with you. I'm going to grab Terapagos, though, because Terapagos is really good in this matchup. So I'll put down the Terapagos, put the Mew down, and we will Torrential Pump, take out the Zeraora and the Dynamotor. So we are 2 prizes up. They're going to come straight back in with 2 prizes. But with Terapagos, we have a response. And a meaty one at that. Like I say, I don't understand why he was powering up the Miraidon. Like, Iron Hands is your biggest, you know, like, threat in this matchup to me. Because I would need 8 plus Terapagos down in order to actually, like, get swinging with it. So I don't know what this opponent was thinking there, but, I mean, you know, he can eventually power it up, but I'm not worried about it. Because I can always just Crown Opal. There's a generator. Because he has no out to a Crown Opal other than Boss. There's an energy. He wants to try and set up his Dynamotor again. So we have Latias, but of course I like to promote my free retreater anyway, so I'm going to bring up Mew, because that way we can get extra draw. That's fine with me, Chief. So, promote the Mew. We get a Metal Energy off the top, that's fine, so we can Noctowl. Grab ourselves a Area 0. Do we want the Charm, actually? Charm doesn't help against Zekrom, but still. What else do we really need? We do need Nest Ball, though, because like, we need to get enough basics in order to one-shot this, so we do need Nest Ball. So we'll Area 0. Nest Ball. For Fez. Because we need Fez down. Then Nest Ball for another attacker. In fact, no, we can just grab a Teal Mask, can't we? Because then we can get an energy out of the discard and go from there. So let's see what we can fin first. So Night Stretcher back the Wellspring, because we can get a grass off the Crispin. Do that. Then we... Can I fin any further? I can. So I can attach a metal for turn onto the Terapagos. Crispin for turn. Take a grass and the fire out. Take the grass to the hand, because we can use that with the Ogerpon. Attach the fire energy to the Terapagos. I know we're not pairing it up with the ideal attachments for Crown Opal, but I'm not particularly worried about that for now. So we can Teal Dance. Do that. There's another Ogerpon. Then we can Fez for 3. I probably should have mewed first, but it's okay. We can actually do that now. But I actually want to keep this hand. But we do need another Pokemon down, so I'm going to put down another Teal Mask. And then we go into the Terapagos. And Unified Beatdown. Take out the Miraidon. I know I probably could have grabbed, like, Water Energy and put it on the Terapagos, but in all fairness, Crown Opal won't win us the game because it's too slow. We do have game, potentially, with Clefairy plus E-Switch. So it's looking pretty good for us right now. Zekrom's probably his best attacker right now. So let's see what he can do. And even if he goes for the Zekrom, we have Bear. And looks like he's going for the Zekrom. That's fine with me, because we can just go grab Bear and get an energy. So I'm not particularly worried. We have game with Bear if he attacks for that Zekrom. There's a Miraidon. Boss. Okay. The Ogerpon. Sure. What does that accomplish? Because I have free retreat with Latias. You should have bossed a Noctowl, is all I'm saying, but sure. I think he's realised the gig is up. Retreat. Back into Terapagos. And beat down, take the game. Nice easy dub against Miraidon with the Zekrom. Oh, I bet it was prized. Ah, it's fine. We would have probably attacked with a Mew using Zekrom's attack, so we could have done that. We could have Crispined, Energy Switched, etc. So we had an out either way. But yeah, that felt really fun to play, I must admit. I really enjoyed that. And we go up a ladder rank to Cutiefly. That's alright. So, what did I think of the deck? Really nice to play. I do think the list that I obviously modified and put in the extra Teal Mask Ogerpon definitely made a difference. And obviously the other change was the Night Stretcher. Obviously we didn't end up using Night Stretcher really, but the fact is having that extra Night Stretcher to get a basic energy back, which obviously would be using off of Pokemon being knocked out and everything, and obviously if we have to use Teal Mask as an attacker or just extra draw, can come in handy. So definitely felt good to play. Whether I think this deck will still have the legs to do what it needs to do will be one of those that comes to fruition soon enough. I think in order to adapt though, because of how prevalent Miraidon is right now, I think it needs a fighting type attacker. The issue is there isn't really any good ones in the format. And obviously the only one that comes to mind for me is Flamigo, which has the Combat Beak attack. But that only does 20 damage, and if your opponent has 5 Pokemon in play, it's doing 240. And some lists of Miraidon are sneaking in a charm, so yeah, you can't really do a lot with that. But I don't know, maybe when a fighting type comes out that's actually decent, this could be a list to adapt. I think I'm going to keep this on file though, for certainty. Anyway, I'm going to leave it all to it for today. Really hope you enjoyed seeing Tera Box back in action, and I'll see you next time.